So everywhere I'm reading that Obama's caving on the mandate in Obamacare that Catholic churches, well, not churches, but the schools and hospitals are mandated to provide contraceptives and abortion-related services that they religiously disagree with. And what's happened here is that Obama's caved. He has seen, he has heard, and now he's going to shift that burden to the insurance companies. Now, there are a bunch of stories today, that one and another one involving a woman getting on an airplane, trying to get on an airplane to fly to Denver, who was not permitted to get on an airplane because there were no female TSA agents that pat her down. None were on board. She even said, look, I'll waive it. I'll let a guy pat me down. I need to get to Denver. They said, nope, not going to have any of that. You have to take a different flight on a different day. It's a small town, small airport, not a whole lot of flights. And her reaction is instructed. And my point is, we, ladies and gentlemen, we are losing freedom and liberty inch by inch. It's not being taken, well, in some cases it is, but mostly it's not being taken from us in giant grabs. It's little by little by little, such that people don't even see it. It doesn't even register. Let me start the AP version of the Obama story. Retreating in the face of a political uproar. President Barack Hussein Obama on Friday will announce that religion is supposed to do it in 5 or 6 minutes now, right in the middle of this program. President Obama on Friday will announce that religious employers will not have to cover birth control for their employees after all. The AP has learned the administration instead will demand that insurance companies will be the ones directly responsible for providing free contraception. And we're supposed to applaud this? We're supposed to think that we have emerged with a big victory here? Obama can mandate that we buy insurance, and now Obama can mandate what insurance companies must offer. And after mandating what insurance companies must offer, then Obama can mandate what insurance companies can charge for it. Freedom doesn't mean anything to this guy. Freedom doesn't mean anything to this regime or this administration. To me, I mean, this is breathtaking. This is an incredible sight to behold here. So Obama is said to offer a compromise proposal that is respectful of religious concerns. And everybody's applauding today. Now look at this. The right to religious liberty in this context is unequivocal in our country and in the Constitution. It's right there in the Bill of Rights. Since when does a president have the power to threaten to issue a rule gutting religious liberty? That's the first thing. And by the way, I don't think any of this is a mistake. I don't think this religious kerfuffle is something that they overreached on. I think roiling this country and distracting people, setting up these extreme things like this and then walking them back to create the illusion that, okay, you know what, we're not going to take your freedom. It's all BS, folks. And this is being spun in such a way to make it look like the winners are winning, or the losers are winning, and they're not. The First Amendment, well, the Bill of Rights of the Constitution explicitly says that government shall have nothing to do with religion. You hear, do you not, the left constantly caterwauling, whining, and moaning about separation of church and state. Now, when do they do that? Whenever a religious Republican or conservative seeks political office, they start worrying about the imposition of religious moral values on people. And this is intolerable. This is intolerable. It's unpermitted. It's a violation of the Constitution. So when the left hates the Constitution, it's an impediment to what they want to do. When it supports what they want to do, they're the biggest constitutionalists in the world. So they're all concerned about separation of church and state. No, they're not. They are opposed to opposition. They will do anything to defeat opposition. And if the Constitution is in opposition to them, they'll do whatever they have to do there. So here we have, again from the top, Obama's going to offer a compromise proposal said to be respectful of religious concerns. He started this. He started it by demanding that Catholic organizations provide birth control and other abortion-related services. Unconstitutional. Cannot do it. There is an appropriate uproar. The regime's, okay, we'll walk it back, and then we'll make the insurance companies do it. He's still getting everything he wants. He's getting mandated federal funding of abortion services. And in the process, trampling all over the Constitution in the process. The right to religious liberty in this context is unequivocal in our country. It's in the Constitution. Since when? I'm going to ask this again. Since when does a president have the power to threaten to issue a rule gutting religious liberty and then claims the power to make compromises on that issue? This is how, folks, we lose our liberty. This is how we lose the Constitution. The suggestion that Obama has the power to alter that which he doesn't have the power to do in the first place is simply unacceptable. The first thing he does, he doesn't have the power to do. He doesn't have, constitutionally, the power to mandate that religious organizations provide, free of charge or otherwise, any abortion-related service with which they disagree. He doesn't have the authority. Then to supposedly correct the mistake, he then engages in more authority that he doesn't have. Okay, tell you what, I'll tell the churches they don't have to do it. It's none of his business what the churches do. He doesn't have the authority to do any of this. The very idea that Barack Obama has the power to alter that which he doesn't have the power to do in the first place, this is two exercises of power he doesn't have. The first exercise is telling the churches what they have to do. The second exercise of power is then changing what he told the churches they have to do. There's no compromise, no negotiation, there's no phony balance here. Obama is simply not empowered to interfere with religious liberty. No president is. It's no different than recess appointments when not in recess. There's no compromise in his compromise here. It's all BS, and the media perfectly willing to support the notion of Obama having dictatorial powers now because they support them. But this is how, folks, the public is dumbed down. This is how he just hacks away at the First Amendment. Then, after there's an uproar said to be compromising his position, when in fact the First Amendment's being destroyed with both moves, with both efforts here. And so his effort to make people think he's compromising and caving is working. Press is reporting that. I even had friends of mine, hey, we beat this back. We didn't beat anything back. In fact, it's far more complicated than what is actually being reported. Somebody in the White House has been leaking to the media all morning about what Obama's going to do. It involves the Hawaii rules. It really is far more complicated here, the change, than is being reported. And I'll get into the detail in just a second after the break. The second example of this that I want to cite is, let's see, this little story, and it's about a woman who wanted to fly to Denver. Just wanted to get on an airplane and go to Denver. That's all that mattered to her. A Denver woman claims that she couldn't board a flight from Wyoming to Denver because of her gender. Jennifer Winning makes the flight from the small airport of Rock Springs, Wyoming to Denver often, but not on January 29th. It was different that day. They wouldn't let me get on the plane because I'm female, she said. She checked in. She arrived at security about 35 minutes before the scheduled departure of her flight on United. They asked if I was on the flight to Denver. I said yes. They said that they couldn't screen me because they sent all the female TSA agents home. Female agent was necessary because of these new pat-downs. So she said, well, would you be willing to let me sign a waiver, and I would approve for a man to pat me down if necessary? And they said no. So she missed her flight. She wound up renting a car for $165. She drove 350 miles back to Denver, said she's getting over her anger, but she thinks the policies need to be clearer. Now, I don't know how that story hits you, but I'll tell you how it hits me. Here we have an American citizen in Rock Springs, Wyoming, who wants to get on a flight to Denver that she takes frequently, and there's no female TSA agent there. So she's told she can't get on the airplane. She's an American. She's not a security risk. She never has been. She can't get on the airplane. She offers to sign a waiver. Look at the freedom this woman readily surrendered. What is she mad about? She's not mad at the encroachment in her daily life by the federal government via the TSA. She's not, doesn't seem to be at all bothered by that. What she's mad about was that they sent all the female agents home. This is how we lose our freedom. I don't blame her for being mad, but she doesn't see the big picture. She passively accepts the premise that the government can easily tell her she can't get on an airplane, despite no evidence that she intends any harm, despite no track record that she's ever been a problem on this flight. She's a semi-regular on this flight. So she passively accepts the idea that the simple fact that no female TSA agents means she can't fly. That's what she gets mad about, not that the fact that the federal government has encroached so much over her individual liberty and freedom. And I submit to you that this is how we end up losing it, slowly but surely, and in ways that people don't even recognize, in ways that people don't even see it. And during all of this, we have to listen to media, and we have to listen to the president, and the Democrats tell us that we're the party of no, and that they are the party that liberates people. And we're the ones, the old-fashioned conservatives, we want to deny people a good time. We want to deny people fun. We want to deny people all these things in life. So we have yet another example of life in America under the thumb of an ever-expanding state with central planning, otherwise known as well-intentioned liberalism. From violating religious rights where there is no power permitted to do so, to mandating the purchase of products, to now mandating insurance companies sell certain products at a price that's also mandated, from czars to denying the right to travel, it's all here. We're living in a country that's becoming unrecognizable. Who is the party of no? Want to throw a football on a public beach? It's the Democrats that say, no, you can't throw a football on a beach in Los Angeles County, or a Frisbee, only a volleyball. Why? Somebody get hit? Why can't you throw a football on a beach? Or a Frisbee, for Christ? Who's the party of no? You want to exercise your religious rights? Provide health insurance to employees that respect those rights? Democrats say, no, you can't do that. You want to buy a health insurance policy when you want to buy it? Nope. Democrats say you can't do that. You want your government to operate on a budget. The Democrats laugh at you and say, we don't need no stinking budget. Wait till the Republicans are in charge and then we'll need a budget. You want to flatten the tax code, get rid of the crony capitalism? Democrats say no. We're not going to give people more access to their hard-earned money. You want to reform entitlements that are eating away your kids' and grandkids' future? Democrats say no, we can't touch any of that. You want to become energy independent using America's natural resources and the resources of an ally that borders our country with a pipeline bringing much-needed oil right to our Gulf of? Nope, can't do it. Democrats say no. And we're the party, you know? We're the party trampling on people's liberties. You want to travel freely about the country? Democrats say no. You want the border tightened and shut down so that people cannot get in here illegally? No. Democrats say no. You're the governor of a state that tries to enforce federal immigration laws? Democrats say no, and the president sues that state and the governor of that state. Now, the Republicans want to privatize the Transportation Security Authority, TSA, and Democrats say no, can't do it. We got to keep this in the hands of our union buddies. So each and every day, little by little, Barack Obama tramples on the Constitution, usurps authority that he doesn't have, in the midst of an uproar, might surrender a little bit of it, where everybody thinks that they're winning, and they beat back the ugly collectivists